We are proud to welcome you and hope that this summit will provide the necessary tools to support your mission into the entertainment industry.
So that you can tell your stories. I'd say dismissed, but you got a lot of work to do.
Thank you for your service.
A big thank you to all of our sponsors that made this year's summit happen.
I thought you were just recovering from DJ Phoenix's intro, which I thought was awesome. So
I should have kept the camera off because I was dancing and I wasn't very good, General. Let me tell you.
Focus on something other than yourself. So it's selfless service. It's holding yourself accountable.
And I always say, when you ask someone to mentor you, ask to mentor you for a purpose.
It's amazing how when you are moving through life in such a manner, how a lot of people aren't aware of how many people have actually served in the military, how many veterans we actually do have.
And I also think it's the more relatable story because most people haven't served, but most people do know someone who did, their neighbors, someone, they go to church with, or just a friend. So to try to help tell the stories of what some of these people that most people know are going through, I think, that's a story that's worth telling.
I would take, find mentors that are outside the military that can offer a fresh perspective.
A lot of the focus has been on diversity, right? And people tend to think about that in a more of a racial box or a gender box. But for veterans, there are all sort of preconceived notions. Some are really positive and some aren't so positive.
For those of you who want to be writers, just start writing. Just get into the habit of writing, get the terrible scripts out of the way.
Michelle transitioned from military to motherhood to media, and she did it all with grace.
I'm glad I wore my waterproof mascara so you don't see big, large black streaks down my face. I am so incredibly grateful to be working with you and the ViacomCBS Veterans Network on all of the amazing work we do. You see, it's okay if your trajectory is not a straight line. It might be a curvy line, or it might be one squiggly line. It's okay. It's all about adapting and overcoming, and that's how you're going to transition. I'm excited for you to see tomorrow's lineup. It's an incredible slate of speakers. I don't want to hold you any longer on networking, so I'll take the time now to say be safe and be well, and enjoy the rest of the program.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 3rd Annual Veterans in Entertainment Summit. This year's theme is Under the Hat. Honor our heritage, adapt our experiences, and transition to new pathways.
Hello, everyone. I'm Natalie Morales, co-host of the daytime Emmy Award-winning show, The Talk. But what other resources did you turn to help you with the transition?
You may listen, you understand this.
Mm-hmm.
When certain service members and veterans, we can communicate with each other with a certain tone, and we're not going to essentially get offended and affected by that to where we're missing out on what the message is.
When we tell good stories, we want to make sure that we're striving to create stories that people can see themselves in.
It helps, right? Like it shows you like who you are and the multiple skill sets you have. So you come up in multiple searches, right? Like if you're saying, hey, like I'm a writer and a producer, it's like, oh, like I have a production role, but actually we need a writer too. And they see that you have that skill set. Otherwise, they don't know if you have that skill set, right?
What is your advice to someone that has no experience to get an entry job to the industry? I bet you do have experience, first of all.
Transferable skills.
What I really appreciate about your program is how invested you are making sure that people like Ryan and Kathy, when they come out of service, they find their way and they're welcomed in the industry.
What do we have? Ooh, Raw, Semper Fi, love it. We've got several Marines. Go ahead and do a shout out there if you're a Marine Corps veteran or active duty Marine or family member of a Marine.
First off, I would just really like to say that no matter what it is that you're doing in the arts, do not ever let this idea that you're too old discourage you.
Do you have any nightmares? Not from working on this, to be honest. First of all, I love what I do.
And I finally had to say to the person I was meeting with, that's great. You don't have to talk to me about Kraft cheese anymore. He was talking to me about Kraft cheese. I said, what is that behind your head? And he said, Mary Stuart Masterson's kids go to my school, and I was helping her workshop some ideas.
Be a lifelong learner. Go back to school, read, get training, acquire skills. Don't confuse a degree with an education. You know, your education is lifelong learning, and it is the fire superiority for the 21st century. The more tools that you have in your toolbox, the more arrows that you have in the quiver. You know, you want to make sure that you're hedged. You know, that's the surest thing you can do to secure your success.